A Mortal's Journey to Immortality Episode 296. In the previous episode, as the miasma around Devilfall Valley began to thin, Violet Spirit, Mei Ning, and Cultivator Song anxiously waited for Han Li, unsure whether he would return from his long journey to the far west in time. Rumors spread, tensions rose, and their plans to seize the Spirit Kindle Fruit became increasingly uncertain. Just as doubts reached their peak, Han Li finally appeared, calm, composed, and far stronger than before, surprising the three women and quietly shifting the atmosphere the moment he stepped into the room. At the end of the previous episode, Han Li listened to their concerns, learned who would and wouldn't risk entering the deadly valley, and prepared to decide how this perilous venture would unfold. What will happen next? Stay tuned. And the story continues. Having heard Cultivator Song's careful words, Han Li nodded and didn't ask any further questions about the matter. He turned his attention to the more pressing concerns regarding the dangerous Devilfall Valley. It is good that Marshal Ni's Song and Lady Mei don't go. There are undoubtedly villains lurking in the myriad Link Mountains. Even if I enter Devilfall Valley, I may not return alive. Lady Violet Spirit, are you still set on entering the valley? Han Li asked in a calm, casual tone, though there was an underlying weight to his words. Violet Spirit responded with a composed smile, her voice soft but resolute. So long as Brother Han is willing to enter the valley, I am willing to brave the risk. I hold fellow Taoist Han in complete confidence. Han Li studied her for a moment, his expression serious, then said, since fellow Taoist Violet Spirit has said this, I won't try to persuade you otherwise. But before we enter the valley, there are several matters I must first make clear. Violet Spirit replied without a trace of surprise. This is as it should be. If Brother Han has any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. First of all, Han Li said, his voice deepening, I need to confirm whether or not the matter of the Spirit Kindle Fruit is true. I don't want to enter Devilfall Valley in high hopes only to discover that it doesn't exist. I hope Lady Violet Spirit can confirm this for me? Violet Spirit, having anticipated his question, immediately produced a green jade slip and handed it over to him. The Spirit Kindle Fruit is real. A nascent soul from the Ghost Spirit Sect who had managed to escape Devilfall Valley by a fluke spoke of its existence. Why else would a Ghost Spirit Sect nascent soul elder risk their life in the valley? Han Li took the jade slip and immersed his spiritual sense into it. Scanning its contents silently, after a few moments, he withdrew his consciousness, returned the jade slip, and frowned thoughtfully. According to what is said, the Spirit Kindle Fruit does exist. However, it is located deep in the heart of Devilfall Valley, and its precise location is somewhat unclear. Finding it with this information alone will be difficult. Violet Spirit, as if sensing his hesitation, quickly explained. The Ghost Spirit Elder had accidentally discovered the Spirit Kindle Fruit after manifesting his nascent soul. So he couldn't recall its exact location. However, he did leave several clues about the surrounding area. It should not be impossible to find it. Han Li reflected carefully on the information, weighing the potential gains against the risks. After a moment, he raised his head and asked cautiously, even if we find the Spirit Kindle Fruit, won't we need to refine it inside the valley because it loses its medicinal power quickly? Has Lady Violet Spirit prepared the supplementary pill ingredients? Violet Spirit's eyes lit up, though she quickly masked her excitement with a composed smile. The supplementary ingredients for the Nature Origin pill are rare, but over the past few years, I have managed to gather them. If we obtain the Spirit Kindle Fruit and fortune favors us, refining the Nature Origin pills should not be a problem. Han Li's expression grew serious. Since it shouldn't be impossible to locate, I will attempt it, but Lady Violet Spirit, you must understand the dangers of Devilfall Valley. I will protect you as much as possible. But if I encounter a threat I cannot withstand, you must be prepared to defend yourself. This is natural, Violet Spirit replied without hesitation. If something were to happen to me, I would not blame Brother Han. I am confident in my ability to survive. Her previously soft features hardened with determination, leaving Han Li satisfied with her resolve. He then shifted the conversation to the issue of entry into the valley. Can you and the others inquire how the Ghost Spirit Sect plans to enter Devilfall Valley? I have heard that they are issuing Devilfall medallions to restrict the number of entrants. It seems strange, under such circumstances, whether a few hundred or a few thousand cultivators enter, it should make little difference. Yet there seems to be a limit. Otherwise, they would profit by selling each Devilfall medallion for tens of thousands of spirit stones. Violet Spirit smiled knowingly. As expected, Brother Han is perceptive, while Mei Ning and I haven't learned the full method of entry. We discovered that it requires the combined power of multiple Ghost Spirit Sect disciples and a large quantity of spirit stones at a specific time. The number of people allowed entry is indeed limited. Han Li nodded. Regardless of the method, our Drifting Cloud sect has 3 Devilfall medallions, and I personally obtained 1. Entering the valley will not be a problem, but navigating its depths is another matter entirely. I believe most cultivators will remain in the outer regions, seeking lesser treasures, while only nascent soul cultivators will dare venture deeper. Some core formation cultivators may fight each other, but their numbers will be few. Fellow Taoist Violet Spirit should face minimal danger in the outer valley and can handle herself. As for the inner valley, his voice lowered slightly as he continued through a voice transmission, outlining the dangers in detail. Cultivator Song and Mei Ning showed no signs of dissent. Given the immense risks, their carefulness was expected. Violet Spirit listened intently and, after a moment's hesitation, nodded in agreement. It is all as Brother Han says. Han Li then inquired about the whereabouts of Marshal Senior Brother Cheng. I've heard he has arrived. Do you know where he is? Cultivator Song admitted she did not. He arrived with a group of close friends. I have not seen him since. Han Li muttered to himself. So Senior Marshal Brother Cheng wishes to enter the valley before reaching the end of his lifespan. He paused, then asked about the Molan. I've heard rumors that the Molan may also be entering Devilfall Valley. Do you have any confirmation? Cultivator Song sighed, clearly frustrated. We've only heard rumors. There is no certainty. After a moment's reflection, Han Li's expression shifted slightly, and he bid them farewell. The 3 women watched him leave. Bewildered, Violet Spirit's eyes betrayed her confusion. What's going on? Why was Brother Han in such a hurry to leave? Mei Ning frowned, disappointed. I don't know, but it seems Senior Han has other business. Han Li, meanwhile, walked down a quiet, remote street with calm and methodical steps. Though in his mind, he scolded someone fiercely. Were you trying to scare me out of my mind? An aged voice responded carelessly inside Han Li's mind. Hee. I merely thought the girl named Violet Spirit was deathly beautiful. Stirring a few of your thoughts is only natural. Han Li snorted in anger. Do not involve me in this. You affected the emotions of my second nascent soul before. That is one thing. Violet Spirit is not in her true form. And your past concubine, Ruyan, was a peerless beauty. How can a woman like this disturb you? The old man explained, his voice slowing with a hint of resentment. I intended to use the 7 Passions art to deal with your primal soul. Who could have imagined a core formation cultivator could resist so much? The 7 Passions art cannot control consciousness, only emotions. The girl uses a secret technique, but I see through it with my spiritual sense. Han Li retorted sharply, even if your 7 Passions art were more powerful, it cannot distract me from my objectives. My second nascent soul may feel a little, but it is only a minor hindrance. I did not expect the core founder of the Thousand Bamboo School, creator of the Great Development Technique, to have survived this long by inhabiting a puppet. Were it not for your power and spiritual sense, I might have fallen. But if you attempt to manipulate me through a female cultivator again, do not expect me to be polite. The old man's voice softened as he revealed his own frustrations. Without the soul nurturing wood, my soul would last only a few tens of years. I have lived long enough in puppets. Were it not for my desire to pass on the final layers of the Great Development Technique in my puppet designs, I would have gladly moved on. Seeing a woman after so long stirred feelings long buried. Han Li rubbed his nose, feeling an ache in his head from the complexity of the situation. The true body of the eccentric was hidden behind his back, and despite being defenseless, Han Li could not use his soul-searching techniques effectively. When faced against the Monarch of Soul Divergence, an eccentric that had lived over 10,000 years, Han Li found himself feeling completely powerless. In this episode, we saw Han Li carefully preparing to enter the dangerous Devilfall Valley alongside Violet Spirit. He confirmed the existence of the rare Spirit Kindle Fruit, assessed the challenges of refining it on site, and discussed the limited entry controlled by the Ghost Spirit Sect. We also witnessed Han Li's cautious strategy for navigating the outer and inner regions of the valley, his concern for Violet Spirit's safety, and his encounters with powerful cultivators and unpredictable allies. Finally, we got a glimpse of the mysterious Monarch of Soul Divergence, an ancient and immensely powerful eccentric, leaving Han Li feeling completely powerless. What happens next? Stay tuned for the next episode of Immortal's Journey to Immortality. If you enjoyed this episode or found it exciting, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to receive notifications for the latest episodes of Han Li's journey. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.